Stockpile Hobbies.
Welcome back to Stockpile Hobbies. My name is Steve, and today we're going to be doing a viewer-requested video, or a subscriber-requested video, I should say, from a gentleman who is getting back into the hobby. He's looking to repair some of his slot cars, specifically the vintage light bulbs on his Tyco HP7 chassis. So it just so happens that when I bought the lot of 37 cars, there was an HP7 chassis in there. I don't run them anymore. I tend to just sell them when I get them, but I do have one here, and I actually have a replacement bulb from I think last year when I started doing the lights. Let's dive in. Let's get this. Let's get some lights on this HP7 Trans Am we got over here. So I'm going to put this part at the beginning of the video, and that's how to remove a bulb from the chassis. Obviously, I just finished the video here, but to get the bulb off the chassis before you go to replace it, take the hot iron, put it on the lead, and pull the wire as you heat it up. Here's one lead off, and now we do the second one. There you go. And that's how you get the wire off the slot car of an HP7. So right away, in the description, you will find everything I'm using here to do this repair here. The light bulbs, I found these on eBay. They are 5 volt. I think I just looked for slot car light bulb, and they come up. This is the vintage incandescent bulb. I recommend using LEDs. I do not recommend these. The difference being is when you use these bulbs, the amount of voltage or the speed you're going will affect the brightness of the bulb. So the slower you go, the dimmer this is, and the faster you go, the brighter it is. This will also draw more current and impact the performance of the car more than LED. The LED bulbs run at a very, very low voltage and current. They're the same brightness whether you're going super slow or super fast. But I understand if you want to maintain the authenticity of the car and keep everything as original as possible, and that's what we're going to do here with this. So with the incandescent bulbs, it does not matter if there's 2 terminals on the car. It does not matter which terminal the bulb is connected to. The incandescent bulbs can go on either side. When I go to solder, it does not matter, so no worries there. You're going to need some flux. This helps the solder flow across the metal when we go to solder the wire onto the point on well, actually the shoes that come up through the car. We'll take a look at that in a moment. I have some lead-free solder here, and I also have my soldering iron over here as well. So let's take a look at the HP7 we have here. The body is actually in excellent condition, and what I did see on this is it has the headlights still, which I might scavenge for one of the other cars I got, because I think one of the custom ones needs a light. But for what we're doing here, this will work perfect, and this body's in really good condition too. So here's the HP7 I have. The tires are dry rotted. The owner used some wire to actually hold the motor down to the chassis here, so it won't go anywhere. But taking a look at the chassis, if we flip it upside down, here's our shoes. And the shoes, there is a lead that comes up right in front of the motor here. And this is directly tied to the track current we're going to get the voltage. So this is where we're going to be soldering the light bulb onto the car. So these came at this length here. And for this video, because I'm not going to really keep it on the car, I can just unsolder when I'm done. It's really too long. We don't need this much length on it. I recommend stripping the wire down to about maybe the first joint of your pinky to the tip there. That should be long enough. So then you got some room to twist it and to give it some length to actually fit into the body here. And you see you really only need like that much, but having a little bit extra doesn't hurt. So these are already stripped. The first thing you want to do is tin the wire. And what that means is you want to put some solder onto the wire. We also want to tin the connectors here. By tinning, what I mean is we take some solder here, and I'm using a toothpick. You can use a brush or whatever you have to apply the flux. And we just take it, and we're just going to put it onto the wires. Just like that, just to get it going. You don't need a lot, see? And I'm going to do the same for the car here. Just dab a little on. Both of the contact points. There we go. Don't get too much. All right, that looks good. Second step is to turn on our soldering iron. I run mine at 325 degrees. That seems to work really good for me. Little tip here, you want to make sure there's always a little bit of solder on the tip of the iron. This one could be a little bit better looking. I'm going to clean it off a little bit with the brass as the iron heats up here. You can also use a finer tip if you want. For this application here, this will be just fine when we go to do this. Alright, the soldering iron is up to temperature now. And I can see it's getting a little more glossy looking, so it's heated up pretty good. And what I want to do is, I'm going to separate the wires first, like this. Now this one was soldered on previously, I think, so there's already a little bit on there, so I'm not going to use a lot. And you don't want to use a lot anyways, but take the solder and put a little bit onto the iron. Just like that. And even that's a little too much. But all we're going to do now is apply it to the wire. Just like that. There's a little bit on there. On both leads. Even though it's lead-free too, don't breathe in the fumes. Try to avoid it. And no matter what you do, it will always come up into your face. I don't know why. I can never get to not do that. And now I'm going to dab a little bit onto the leads. Alright, here we go. And now all we have to do is sandwich the wire between the lead and the soldering iron. I'm going to try and do this on camera, and of course everything's going to be in my way, but here we go. And you're just going to have to hold it there for like a second. There's one. And now the other. I need something behind the car to stop it from moving as I push it. As I press on it, the car wants to slide back and it's losing contact. There we go. And now, with any luck, that should work. That looks good. Turn it off. Whenever you're done soldering, make sure there's some solder on the tip for next time. You want to make sure that's always tinned as well. And if I did this right, here we go. Looks good. That's all you got to do. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. At the end here, you can twist the leads. I recommend pinching it right above the where you soldered. Give it some twists. It gives it a little more strength. And now, this is obviously this is why I said you might want to shorten these. These are really long on here. But that can go in there. And in there. And I'll turn the light off. Pretty cool. That's it. So let's say you decide now, you know what, Steve, you're right. I want to go with the LED bulbs. What's the difference? The difference is the wires. The red one has to go on the driver's side of the car. I know it's a different chassis, but it'd be the same contact lead. It'd be the driver lead. So if you buy the LED bulbs, the red wire needs to go to the left driver side lead. And that will make the LED bulbs work as well. And you see they look real similar to the incandescent bulbs. Obviously, it's about the same size, a little bit smaller. But it is a lot brighter than the incandescent one. And no matter what the speed is, it's always going to be the same brightness on the car. And that makes a big difference if you're actually driving at night and you need the lights like we do over here with the glow-in-the-dark track we have. If you've seen any of the videos, you know how bright these LED bulbs are. I really recommend them. But again, if you're going for originality, you want to get the incandescent bulbs. Anyone watching, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's really important. Really helps us grow. It's the only way we can grow, really. And keep having fun, everyone.